Good morning, students. How are you? I've come in a natural setting as much as possible to introduce you to QiGong, Chinese practice, 4,000 years old, very ancient, of health. Basically, it's a practice of health to improve your energy, because qi means energy, and kung, kung means work or activity. To work or activate, if you like, your energy flow. We have energy from two directions, basically. If you understand the Taoist principle of yin and yang, the yin energy comes from the earth, and the yang energy from the sky, from the heavens. So the principle is very simple. It's like Tai Chi. If you know Tai Chi, the first principle of Tai Chi, which is a martial art, it's also a practice of health, because it employs the same concepts. That an action be slow. First thing is to be slow, fluid, and relaxed. When I say fluid, I also mean that it has to be slow and constant. As slow as possible, but in harmony with your breathing. So when you breathe in, any action can be considered a QiGong action simply by the fact that you follow these principles. Whatever action you may do, whether it's just spreading your arms and bringing them together down to your sides, if you like. If I'm standing, I'll be staying in this position so that I don't disrupt the video, and show you that the principles that QiGong is based on. And so I said any action would have to be slow. So if I'm doing this, the action will be slow. It will be relaxed, not tense. It's not a muscular action. It's not that I'm tensing, right? It's an action which is muscles are relaxed as possible. Hands are relaxed. The angle of the arm is as usually curved and never straight or bent, but slightly curved. So all the actions are, as I say, slow, constant, fluid, relaxed, and not angular or awkward. The other principle might be that usually the actions are symmetrical. Or if you do one thing on one side, you will do the same thing on the other side. Or if the actions are contemporaneous, they're done symmetrically. Another element, which is very important, is how you breathe. The breath should be starting from the belly. You breathe in by expanding the belly. Breathe out by contracting. You should use perhaps all of your breathing apparatus, which is the belly, the chest, and the upper chest and the sides. So when you breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Expand your chest if you can this way. Don't worry too much about it. Just beware that it's a full breath, not a shallow breath or a half breath. Full from the bottom to the top, then again out from the bottom, top, in from the bottom to the top. Don't raise your shoulders. Out from the bottom. Goes in. Out. When you breathe in, it goes out, expanding so that the air is pushed, is dragged into your lungs, down deep into the lungs. The breath is very important. It has to be in unison, together with the action, so that you breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. Breathe in, you breathe out. You can understand when the breath has to come in, combined with the action, and when it has to go out. If I just do a simple neck movement, I do this neck movement, can be considered. And I raise my head, I lower my head. I raise my head, I breathe out, I breathe in. So if the action is compressing, I breathe out. If the action is expanding, I breathe out. In. So on the side, well, if you do a side action, the principle is to, when you go to the right, or to the left, sorry, when you go to the left, you would breathe in to the right, or vice versa. You can choose the other thing. So choose which action you want to do. Breathe out, in, out, in. So each action is a full breath. The breath is combined with the action in the full length. So you have to experiment first. How slow you have to go for the breath to be completely out. From here I'm starting. I'm not completely out. I'm in. I start to breathe in. I start to make the action. I'm fully in. I'm fully out. Whatever your action may be, if it's a rotatory action, you would go down, breathing in because you're opening up, breathing in. Then, as you go down, you're contracting, you breathe out. In. These are very good movements for your cervical area. Hold this area. We're often quite stiff in this area, and it's a good exercise to do, not as a physical thing, it's not muscular. We don't want to do a muscular contraction, no. We want to do an energetic one. Energy, that's why the breath, which is also in Indian called, in Sanskrit called prana, it means energy. The breath itself is energy. Energy intake, energy, expelling the energy that is no longer necessary, that if you have used. So, principles. For our first lesson today, the principles are: the action is slow, constant, in unison with breath. So I breathe, I start with my breath in. When I'm fully expanded, I contract until all the breath is out. You can do this with any action. You can do it walking, right? You can do it with anything that you want to do. You can do with washing your face. In, out, in, out. So the other thing, as I said, which is extremely important, that all of this is done in a state of a relaxed state. And probably the most important and final thing to take into consideration, that your mind, your attention, is fully on what you are doing. It's fully on the action, not on the bells that are ringing, though you can hear them. You can hear them, but they are not taking your attention. Your attention is fully on what you are directing, what you are doing. Your action and your thought are in unison. Till our next. See you in the next video.